now. Okay, I like the fact that you guys are laughing. Yeah, we don't go grief for anybody. Yeah, I mean it's a year to get it right, and I'm super excited to be here live and direct, and I'm super fired up. Tina, you look so beautiful. I mean we can see your face, so I hope that all the handsome and Superman can see Tina, and so you have no excuse not to get married this year. Okay, I might just have a gift for you, Tina, because you are the first person that everyone noticed when they got on the call, and then you were the first to put on your camera. So, admin, please remind me. I might have something special for Tina. And that's how it works. If it be you, so I'm super excited. Okay, so while I'm not sure Talani is back yet, but I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm super, super, super ready for you. Now, one of the things that we are going to be doing within the next 45 minutes, I hope I can do it in 45 minutes and take your questions, basically, is to share how you can win before you get married. And I'm really, really going to say I first apologize to all of you. Singles always accuse me that praise you focus on married people, you focus on parents, you neglect us, right? It's not intentional. I mean, I started my life talking to singles. I work with singles. I mean, last week I still helped intending couple who were going to get married and go and destroy themselves to literally separate themselves with happiness, right? And they shook hands and they were like, "Oh, thank you, sir, that we came for counseling sessions." Usually, because I put in like 21 years in here, I usually refer singles to many of my colleagues and some of my mentees, because again, my one-on-one sessions with me are not that cheap, right? And so it's always very tough for people to pay, right? And so what I've decided to do this year is to hold sessions like this, hold master classes, classes with singles, then do something that we'll announce maybe in 2 weeks' time for you that can help you prepare, because there's been a lot of things that has been said, a lot of things, jargon out there that is messing up singles' brain and restricting them from finding their lover, which I'll try to demystify a little bit today. Okay, looks like Tolani is back. If you can't hear us, then please check your connection, because I'm loud and clear here. Okay, Tolani, is that something you wanted to say? Because looks
yes,
like
I realized that some people had not joined with their audio, and there are a lot of you. So all you need to do is click on the mic icon on your screen, join your audio. I can see about 12 of you or about 10 of you who has not been able to join. You cannot hear me because you did not join with your audio, or your internet is bad. Me, I no agree for internet. You see, I'm back in. Okay, so since Mr. Praise had started his class, I'm just going to allow him go on. Whatever thing I have to share with you guys, I will come back after Mr. Praise is done, and we're going to take the questions together. So, Mr. Praise, I'm just going to hand them over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mutolani. I'm excited once again to be here. So, winning in marriage from singlehood, and that's what we're going to be talking about. I've divided it into like 2 sessions, and then I'm going to just breeze through them because I want to take as many questions as possible. I'm an expert when it comes to things like this, because when you put 21 years into something, I wrote on singleness, how to find the right partner in Nigeria. I wrote about it for 10 years when I used to write for This Day newspaper. So every day I had a devotional I sent out on marital life, what people should be looking for. And so now I do it at a global level in the United States of America. And I help a lot of singles. I see how easy, how cheap it is for people to find their spouses if you only follow simple instruction. Now, not many of us love to follow simple instructions because we have a lot of belief systems in our head that disqualifies someone who is an ideal partner on the altar of tribal, racial, and religious discriminations and things like that. So today I'm going to be speaking as a professional, and I'm going to share a bit of, 5 roadblocks to finding your spouse and then 5 red flags you need to watch out for. And then I will do a simple assessment for all of you, right? And then you will pick your signal, and I think I'll take your questions. Okay, so I think Tolani has told you what to do. So at the end of this particular webinar, you would have gained clarity about your singleness, 5 roadblocks to finding your ideal spouse, 5 red flags you must never overlook, and your personal signal activation. Like you've been told, please eliminate every distraction. Like we say in Nigeria, we don't go grief for distraction this year. So eliminate every distraction, put off your TV. Football match is not starting yet. Turn off everything that can distract you within the time frame that we have. And then put your name on your Zoom link. I can still see some people at Techno. Maybe Techno is your name. I mean, how does a lady fall in love with Techno, right? Techno as a brand is not a brand that lasts, kind of. No disrespect to people who use Techno, so if you say you are Techno, even if what you have is iPhone, maybe the lady can look at you and say, okay, at least iPhone is durable, even though iPhone keeps changing and keep upgrading, kind of, so I don't know, maybe your phone can even say a lot about your kind of person and stuff like that, but don't worry, that's just a joke. Right, it's been 24 years of building successful families for me. Started officially year 2000. I've done it from university days of girls. I mean, I was that guy in accounting department that babes came to meet to ask if they should say yes to a guy. And I was also the same guy that guys came to meet to ask me for what to tell girls, the girls on campus, so that they can say yes to them. So I was literally midwifing between the babes and the guys without knowing that I was going to do it professionally, right? Because I was just that person who could relate with everyone. Ladies found it difficult. Found it easy to talk to me. And I'll tell you a funny story. So I was leading the music department of Christian Union IFS, and there were about 82 ladies in my choir, right? I love all of them. They trusted me, so they would come and tell me stories. Now, there were guys who were coming to ask them out. So there was this particular brother, born-again brother, talking brother, apparently the guy had proposed to like 3 of them separately, and they didn't know, right? And so the guy was just going one after the other they'll be cooking meals for him. Who, as a student, these girls were spending their money to buy, fish, and you know what it was like? As students, we could eat without meat and stuff like that. But these girls were getting into debt to cook for these guys. They used to call it cooler ministry, right? But because those girls talked to me at different times, right? So they will talk to me and they'll ask, so who is this guy? They will mention his brother, so, brother XYZ. So I found out that this guy is just hanging around my girls like that. So what did I do? I just went to meet him to say, hey, guy, what's going on? There are 3 girls you're talking to, right? And then as I finished talking to him, by the time I left him, a 4th girl had called me, who was not in my department, who had also said the same guy had come to propose to her. Now, I decided to interview these 4 girls separately to find out how these guys was proposing. And you realize that the guy was not outrightly going to say, B, will you marry me or something like that. What the guy was doing was to do what we call implied proposal. So he will go to this lady and I will say, oh, wow, you are cooking beans. Is beans beans is my favorite food, and I'm going to be a mega pastor, and, the man of God needs to marry a wife who can cook beans, very well, because I would love to eat beans. Okay, would you like to marry a pastor who likes beans? The lady will say yes. So this guy says he has not proposed, but what has he done really, right? And so he was working on their mind, and eventually I had to work on it. In fact, there was one of them who almost had an extra year because she was literally heartbroken, but I had to manage the situation. So I have said this to say that my error rate when it comes to helping people find their love partner, love spouses, is very, very limited, right? I can say I have like 90% success rate when it comes to helping people find their spouses. I have a couple right now, if I mention their name, they are in this same space in Nigeria. They are all over shaking the nations. I remember when they were on campus, the husband that was going for someone else, and it was good because he wanted a lady sophisticated, a lady who, had links abroad and things like that. But the lady kept saying no to him. So this guy came to me and he was like, Chris, look at what I'm going through. Help me talk to this girl to say yes to me. And I said, no, that why would you want to go out with this girl? That there's someone else I see around you, that you guys look like you have the same vibe and the same energy, right? And he said, no, I've not seen. I said, well, this lady that I see around you, she sells akara, and she even gives me free akara sometimes on campus, right? Why don't you go after that girl? Because I think that you guys gel. And so his eyes suddenly became open. They were just friends, and, doing friendship, but they didn't think that they could take it to the next level. Today, they've been married for over 21 years, and they're doing very, very well, right? I mean, I wish I could bring them here to share their story, right? And so I'm saying this to let you know that I'm not talking theory. I know exactly how to get couples, intending couples, to find their spouses and to connect effectively. So I want you to pay close attention. So I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions, and I want my, the comment box to be buzzing. When do you want to get married? That's the first question for all of you. When do you want to get married? Can you go to the chat box? Let me see your answer. Okay, Hannah said this year. This year, September, August. Now. I love these people. We no go agree for anybody. Kai. So it means I'm coming to Nigeria. I'll be in Nigeria in May. And it means I'm going to attend some weddings. I'm going to hang out with some of you physically. Okay, December, June 1st. Wow. December this year. Wow. Motolani, can you say how many weddings you guys have to attend this year? Okay, next year, 2025, 2024. Okay, it's interesting. It's interesting that you guys want to get married this year, and I love that. I celebrate you, and I say it shall be to you according to your belief, right? And so that takes me to the next question. Why are you not married, right? And I need that answers. Why do you think you're not married yet? Is it that you have not found the right guy, you have not found the right babe, or you don't have money? What do you think is stopping you, right? Let's see, not met the right guy. Okay, TechnoSpark. I told you change your name. I haven't found the right man. Financials, I am widowed. I don't know. I have not found the right one. Fear was recently became widowed. Oh, sorry. So sorry. Not found the right lady. I've not found not met the right person. I haven't found the right guy. Fear. The right guy. In fact, all of you saying the right guy. One of the programs I'm doing this year is called Bride Groomers. It's a mentoring session for guys and teaching them exactly how to be a proper husband. Because I realized that looks like social media has messed up a lot of our guys that they don't even know what they're looking for outside of sex. Okay, I've not met the guy. Guys, are you in this meeting at all? They are saying they can't find you. They can't find you. Where are you? Missing in action, right? Guys, where are you? Can you be showing me that you are here? Okay, guys are saying they are here. You better start checking out. All the people say they have not found the guy. Okay, scared to love. Okay, I am here. Okay, good. Thank you, guys. I'm loving this class. Wow, looks like I actually prefer singles class to married people's class that I've been doing all this while. I'm enjoying myself, right? Okay, good. So pay attention. The first thing I'll do is to define singleness, right? Singleness is not the absence of marriage. Singleness is not the absence of guy or a date. Right? The word single is an interesting word. Singleness is the state of discovering the very core essence of your life, discovering who you are, and that includes your uniqueness, right? Accepting it without apologies, including embarrassing your shame, right? And keeping your focus until a state of wholeness is attained in you in service to God and humanity. What that simply means is that your singleness is about authenticity. To say, yes, this is me. I am not perfect. These are my weaknesses. It may be shameful, but I wear them as a badge, right? This is me. I am no longer a virgin, right? But I've chosen to do it right. But I'm not going to beat myself and kill myself over my past mistake. This is me. I've done 2 abortions, but I'm not going to think that there are some demons now restricting me from getting my right spouse, because people get right spouses all the time, right? So it's not about your past. It's about accepting the very core essence of yourself, your uniqueness, and not forcing someone to make you into who you're not, and accepting yourself without apologies, including embracing your shame. That's what I do. I tell people I am imperfect. Even till now, I'm imperfect. There are things I'm not proud of, but I embrace it. It's part of my life. I can't undo them, right? I kind of regret them, but I'm not going to wallow in pain over them. I have come to accept myself as worthy. as loved by God, and that, well, anyone who can deal with me and my mess, maybe it's not worthy of me. Now, that's not to say I'm going to excuse them. I'm going to stay in the state of mess. No, I'm going to work on them, but you are not going to be able to judge me on the basis of my mistakes when I haven't mastered myself. So it's about discovering your very core and accepting yourself without apologies and keeping your focus until a state of wholeness is attained in you in service to God and humanity. So it means if I'm a single lady, right, I'm not waiting for a man to come and take me out of poverty. No, I'm bringing prosperity to the table because I have mastered how to work, how to deploy my skills. I have mastered how to do business and how to make my life work. So I'm not coming to the table of marriage because I need some guy to bail me out of poverty. No, I'm going to be a blessing. I'm going to be deliver superior service delivery. I'm going to be the most valuable babe in his life that he can do without. As a guy, I'm not coming to the table because I'm looking for a cook. No, I've already learned how to cook from home. So I'm not coming to a lady who is going to be cooking for me. No, and they say the way to a man's heart is through his belly. That's the way to a glutton's heart, right? I'm not coming to the table because, oh, she has American passport. No, I am coming to the table because I'm a bridegroom. I can groom her to be a better version of herself. Now, but how do you even groom a lady successfully when you don't even know how to groom your armpit, right? When you don't even know how to groom the basic things about yourself, right? How do you groom a lady successfully? So it's about bringing value to the table. So follow me carefully. So there are 5 roadblocks to unlocking your ideal spouse that are found in my 24 years of practice, right? And I want you to follow. Number 1 roadblock is what we call poor networks. And I'm going to ask you specific questions. Now, all of you who say to me that you want to get married this year, if I ask you to produce 11 friends in your life today who are singles, who share your values, and who are eligible singles like you. I mean, if you're a lady, you have 11 men in your life today who are very good. They meet all your values, all your criteria. They are good friends, and you could have chosen from any of them. If you have 11, if you're a guy, you have about 11 girls, can you write yes? If you don't have up to 11, can you write no? Let me see. Okay, no, 11, no. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, no. You see the simplest of all questions. So how do you hope to marry? Miraculously? What God cannot do does not exist? Excuse me. Yeah, that can happen miraculously, but friendship is the crucible in which relationships are forged. If you want to get married and you don't have 11 people in your life who look like you, who share your values, who are like you, they think like you, they are your friends, then I would assume that you don't want to get married. In fact, I would assume that you are serious about getting married. Let me tell you, at the point I got married, I have like 22 ladies I could have gotten married to, about 22, right? I know some of you have been told there's just one man somewhere for you. It's not true. If that person dies, you will survive. If that person becomes an assassin or goes to prison, you will marry someone else, right? And so if you don't have up to 11, right? So I have a session called Finding Your Spouse in 10 Weeks, but we have not launched it, right? I mean, what you do every day in 10 weeks, right? Because there is a way to find these people. In fact, if I were a lady, single lady, it would be very easy for me to find a guy because I will take laws into my hand and I'll create my recruitment process. And there is a way to subliminally do all those things, which we can't even be teaching here. So if you don't have eligible cabals, it means your network is poor. So I don't know the worst network in Nigeria when it comes to internet. Is it Glo or MTN or Airtel? It means you are that poor network that can be relied on to make a call. Okay, somebody said Glo at the right time, right? Because guys exist, but you have not gone to look for them. Babes exist, but you are not looking for them because you have not learned how to network intentionally. Yes, you spend time in prayer meetings, times in church meetings, but you have not gone to social meetings and social networks where you can actually meet real people. So when I was on campus, part of what my fellowship told us is that, oh, don't mix with unbelievers. Don't mix with them. So we couldn't mix with JCI people. We couldn't mix with Rotary Club people. We couldn't mix. We were just mixing with our fellowship people, and our fellowship people. I mean, when I was on campus, I'll tell you, I wasn't particular about my dressing. I was dressing anyhow. You know, I would even wear jeans that are dirty. Right? Because all I cared about is spirituality. Spirituality is very good. But the guys looking at you, if we even say that, they just shall live by faith. If they are not carnal, they will see the spirituality in me. No. They want to see someone who has a good dress sense, someone who knows how to groom himself, someone who has good hygiene. Some of our brothers will not even brush their teeth. Some of them have body odor, but they'll say, by faith. No. The person looking for you must first see you physically. So, if you don't have eligible cabals, right, that is the first line of problems that you have created for yourself, right? It means that by your mouth, you are saying you want to get married, but by your action, you are saying, I don't want to get married. Because prayer is the alignment of your words, thoughts, and action. So you can be praying, God, send me a spouse, send me a spouse. Are you thinking about the spouse? Are you acting in the direction of the spouse? If you are not acting in the direction, then you are contradicting your faith, right? And so some of us are trying, but it's still not working. No. Friendship is what you need to build. If I were you, one of the simplest things I will do is I'll call a meeting. If I have like 5 guys or five ladies, I'll say, let's call a meeting. Let's create a network, right? Call people who share our values, call them to a meeting. We just want to hang out and play, right? I will work the meeting, right? I will determine the questions. I will observe the conversation. From the conversation that they are having, you will begin to pick the ones that vibe at your level, right? I've just given you an example, but there is an entire framework of how to do that, right? Because that's not the first thing, but that's what I will do. And I will easily recruit 3 of them that I'll go on a date with to find out the one that is eligible for me. It's that simple, right? But don't worry, we can't talk about that right now, right? What group or race? So that's the next question. What group or race are you unlikely to marry and why? So if there is a particular race that you can't marry, you don't wish to marry them, or tribe, or ethnic group, or religion, can you put them on the chat box? Please, let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be honest with ourselves. What is the group or race that you can't marry? Or you have been told by your parents, don't marry this one. Okay, Hausa, Igbo, none. Igbo. Maybe white, maybe Japanese. Don't think of Nigerians alone, okay? Benue, Muslims, none. Yoruba, Igbo. Can you see the problem? So you have failed at attracting men or women. Then you have now added to eliminating an entire race, eliminating an entire religion, eliminating an entire group. So how will you find the right guy? So it means if the right guy is an Igbo, your capacity to find him despite all your prayers is 0, because you can never find him, because your reticular activating system has already been activated to eliminate them. So the question is, what did Igbo do to you? What did Yorubas do to you? What did Hausas do to you? So you know what I find out? Many of us want to marry a race. We want to marry an ethnic group. We want to marry a religion. We don't want to marry a human being, right? If it's a human being that you want to marry, they can show up in whatever shapes and form, but you cannot find them because you have eliminated them in your mind. When I was growing up, my father would say to me, you must not marry Egba. You must not marry Ikene because they don't stay in their husband's house. You must not marry this, you must not marry that. So I asked him that, Daddy, you say we should not marry this, we should not marry that. Okay, who must we marry? My father would say from Ondo State and Edo State. Those are the people. So I said, Dad, but you don't even want us to go to our village because you say the people are wicked. So is everyone in Ondo State intelligent? If they're intelligent, why is our state not first world? Then my father couldn't answer the question. So you realize, and there's nothing wrong with your desires. However, what you have done is you have eliminated yourself from, maybe, and I'll give you an example. I was working with this lady who was 42. and had nobody that she had found. And she said to me, Praise, I prayed, I fasted, and there is no guy. I said, no, guys exist. Don't say there is no guy. Bible saying there are no guys, you are creating a negative energy. So I just asked her, can you send me your CV? Usually I don't ask that question, right? And so she sent me a CV. And when I looked at the CV, I realized that she was a lady who became a senior manager in a bank at the age of 25, right? At the age of 30, she left the bank, and I think 28, she left the bank for oil and gas, became an executive director. This lady has done training in Harvard, Yale, Stanford, and Cambridge. So I asked her, why have you not found the right guy? She said, all the guys I met, they say I'm not domesticated, I can't be cooking and blah, blah. I said, do you realize? So I asked her, do you want a man or do you want a tribe? She said, Praise, what are you saying? I said, because it looks like you're looking for a tribe. I said, do you realize that based on your training, you have overtrained yourself from the conventional third world woman? You are now a first world thinker. So have you thought of marrying a British man, an American man, you know? And then she looked at me and said, Praise, I meet them at seminars, I meet them at trainings, but it never dawned on me to date them. You know what I found out? Her mother has planted a software on her head that says, only Igbo men, nothing more. So even though she is a first world woman, she keeps looking for third world men who cannot but have a wife who will cook for them, have a wife who will stay at home, but she's no longer that kind of woman. By the time I opened her eyes, she said, Praise, I know what to do. She went for the next meeting, met a British guy. Today they are married. The guy she met even happened to be a Nigerian, but never a British-born Nigerian who had never been to Nigeria before. We did not need to pray. We did not need to fast. We just needed to uninstall the self-sabotaging software that her parents installed in her. Right. And so you realize that many of us could have been married, but there is something that disqualified the person we really loved. Take yourself back to primary school. I'm sure you had the crush. Take yourself back to secondary school. There was a guy you liked, but something disqualified him. Either you say he's a Christian, he's a Muslim, he's Igbo, he's Hausa, your parents will not accept it. Is it your parents that want to marry or you? So perpetually, I even have a crush now. Can you imagine it? So why have you not told him? So perpetually we disqualify ourselves from what we want because of what people will say. So you are no longer living your life. You are living the life that will please your uncle, your pastor, your mother, your blah, 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 and you keep fooling yourself. Now, so number 3 is, what is your network strategy? If you don't have 11 guys in your life or 11 babes in your life, the first thing you need to do after this session is to go and find a way to have at least 11 people, right? And so I can see a lot of you saying, Muslim and Christian. That is not a problem for me. If you can't marry a Muslim, you are correct. If you can't marry a Christian, you are correct. But let me tell you professionally, and I'm going to ask you this question, right? Since you have been born, have you seen a Muslim and Christian that got married and their marriages worked? Have you seen in your lifetime? Yes or no? I need you to answer the question. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or can you see yourself? Yes, 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 yes. Of course, there are dynamics to it. And I'm not going to say go and marry a Muslim if you don't feel like marrying a Muslim, or go and marry a Christian if you don't want to marry a Christian, because again, I'm a Christian. But you see, I have seen it work. I have seen people live it out. I have counseled people who belong to 2 different religions, Buddhism and Islam, and I have created framework for them. They are happily married. Now, you don't have to do that if your conviction negates it, because that's another problem. Once your conviction negates something, don't go and do it, right? But I have seen Fashola, Governor Fashola, his wife is a Christian. Even your president, the wife is a pastor, right? And there is no problem. So this is what I've realized. And pardon me if you don't believe what I'm saying. I realize that rules and regulation, some rules and regulation is for poor people. But when you get to the top, at the rich level, they excuse them. They excuse them. So the rules can catch the poor, can catch the weak, but then they excuse the rules for the rich, right? But I have not said go and marry a cross-cultural religion or something, or an entire religion. But this is what I'm saying. I have seen professionally that these things work, right? For people who know what they are looking out for, right? And so the dynamics is different. So that's number 1, poor network. And you can see that many of you I failed the network. Now, my job here is not to excite you. My job here is to present facts and data and figures to set you free from everything that has held you bound. Number two, roadblock are unrealistic expectations and wrong beliefs. Wrong beliefs and unrealistic, and I'm going to show you some of the wrong beliefs. So you have heard that perfectionism, you must marry somebody who is perfect. Are you perfect? You can't marry perfection. You can marry progress. There is nothing called perfection. You only have progress. Mention one thing that is perfect on this planet, you won't find. Everything is improving. You are a work in progress. So you cannot be perfectionism driven. So it must be prime, it must be proper. If you have all your qualification and the person meets 64%, right? As long as those 64% are non-negotiables, right? You can actually work with it. Now, wrong beliefs is the biggest problem that has held many of you bound, especially many of you who are Christians or punk Muslims. And I will share some of them with you. For example, have you heard men are logical, women are emotional? If you have heard that before, can you type one? Let me see. Women are logical, men are emotional. Have you heard that before? Okay, one. Okay, all of you have heard it. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you met a logical woman? In fact, if you are a woman here, you think that you are more logical than emotional. Can you type 3? If you are a man here, you think you are more emotional than logical. Can you type 2? Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? So yet you have been taught all kinds of rubbish, right? That the people teaching you these things, they themselves don't follow what they are teaching you. So they tell you men are logical, women are emotional. So what happens is when many of our guys meet a logical woman, they start saying, why are you acting like a man? Why are you acting like a man? What does that mean? That she can argue, that she can present facts, that she can do what normal people should do. Then you now have insecurity, right? Listen to me. Every human being has logic and emotion. The one you utilize the most is the one that becomes more prominent, right? So the word man is not the word male. The word man is gender-centric. The word man is the word humanity, expressed in 2 gender, male and female. So they will say, you know, this lady, in fact, every lady that is called proud in Nigeria and many of the third world countries, they are ladies who are assertive and confident. Because our culture does not believe a lady should be strong. A lady should be firm, right? And so they will say she's proud. No, the problem is, if you are in that category as a lady, stop looking for third world men, look for first world men who can stand your authenticity and they don't have a problem, right? And so you will hear things like, the first need of a man is respect. The first need of a woman is love. Have you met any man who doesn't want to be loved? Is there any woman here who doesn't want to be respected? Every human being needs love and respect. So don't let anybody mess you up, right? And so the way to a man's heart is through his belly. You know, a wise woman build a house. There is no wise woman that can build a house that a foolish man has vowed to destroy, right? So don't listen to funny beliefs. In fact, there's one more. Opposites attract. So you are looking for your opposite. And so let me tell you the problem of that. So you are an outspoken person, out and out, then you now go start looking for a quiet person. The quiet person will now tell you that you talk too much. Can you keep quiet? You too, you are looking at him. Why don't you talk? See, opposite things attract. Opposite beings will repel eventually. So it is kind that bound. So you need to look for your type. You need to look for people who think like you, who vibe like you, so that you don't enter marriage. You love to have sex every day. Then you enter marriage. You have gone to marry opposite. She loves to have sex once in a year. She will now say, you know, it's once a year. You are now burning. You will now be looking for dildo up and down. See, all these things that has been taught, they were taught because of the Stone Age era. They are no longer relevant. Guys, you need to marry your kind. That's why we have an entire session called User's Manual Legislation, where you demystify your life on a document and write out the entire framework. Right. So stereotyping, run away. Some people even teach that, you know, men don't say I'm sorry. It's a lie. I say I am sorry and I'm a man. say, men don't say I am sorry. That's not true. How can a human being not be able to say I'm sorry? Right? So we endorse mediocrity and stupidity, and we call it teaching. Right? And so you must no longer fall for those things. We call them low sperm count as professionals. They sound sensational, they sound exciting, but they are very weak. Human beings must be able to develop themselves. Human beings must be able to say, I'm sorry. So he said, because he's a man, he's a man. So he has ego. You haven't heard that before. Every human being has ego. Every human being is called id. So don't fall for a man has ego. So you need to massage the ego. So we massage bad behavior because we say he's a man. What does that mean really? So we need to understand, right, that there are some bad behaviors that we have classified as men's behavior. It's not true. If I am wrong, I will say I'm sorry. Ask all the people who work with me. I say I'm sorry all the time. So stereotyping, then loss of recognition. Let me say this. Some of your spouses will show up in their raw material format. You must be able to spot the raw material in them and then grow with them, both male and female. So some of you, the guys show up. I mean, I'll tell you a story. When we were in secondary school, there was this girl we called Ogebo. I heard you was this big. So no guy asked her out. Then we had one strike, 6 months. Her father became a deputy governor. They took her abroad. By the time Ogebo came back like this, the head had disappeared. She now looked very curvy and very beautiful. We were all now trying to ask her out. What changed? So I realized that some of your beauty is hidden because of poverty. If money comes today, some of you that look like Fowowe, you will now look so clean, so fresh, right? And so you must be able to recognize, the potential. And that takes me to number 3. Lack of self-awareness. One of the core hindrances to finding the right spouse is lack of self. Many of you don't know yourself. And that's why you are running from pillar to post, from mountain to mountain, from prophet to prophet, because you don't know yourself. What is your personal style? What is your personal aura? If you step into a meeting, what is the aura you emit? Do you know? If you don't know your personal aura, it's lack of self-awareness. Do you have a personal user's manual? If you don't have an entire document that talks about who you are, your brand promise, your weaknesses, your strength, your qualities, how you get angry, how you recover from anger, the frequently asked questions, what people can misconstrue about. If you don't have that, you are not ready. And we're going to find the time to take you through that. Wholesomeness and trauma elicitation. Let me tell you this. If some of you are here, you have noticed that you always attract the wrong guys or the wrong babes. The question I will ask from you as a professional is, what are the trauma points in your life that you have not overcome? So if you are someone who has a lot of unforgiveness in you, there are people that hurt you, they raped you, they used you, they dumped you, you have not forgiven them. You have people who disappointed you, no longer trust, you have not processed it. Every time you show up, you send a frequency to the atmosphere. It's called signal. Every signal attracts subscribers. So if what you are sending is, even though you're a good girl or good guy, you are godly, but you have a lot of hurt and pain that you have not healed from. So you will be sending godliness to the atmosphere, but you are also emitting abuse and trauma and anger and pain. Guess what you will attract? You will attract godly guys into your life who will look godly. And because godliness is number 1 on your criteria, you will admit them. But after being in the relationship, you will now realize that they begin to use you, they manipulate you, the hurt and the pain begin to show up. Then you are like, I thought he's a Christian, I thought he's a Muslim. You attracted the trauma that you have not processed. And that is why I always take people who want to get married through a trauma elicitation process and a healing process so that they can be whole. So lack of self-awareness, many of you don't know who you are. So how do you know you are who you need? How do you know you are looking out for? Some of you, because of the conditioning or bad handling of your parents and the people you grew up under, you have been conditioned to be someone else that you are not. So you have anger in you, you have pain in you, so you don't trust people easily. So lack of self-awareness. That takes me to number 4. Number 4 is poor communication skills and imaging. And that includes, how do you pitch yourself? Do you know how to pitch yourself? If I ask you to introduce yourself to me, what are you going to say? If I ask you, who are you? And you told me your name, you have failed. Because whenever people ask you, who are you? What they are saying is, sell yourself to me. So I got to a meeting in America. It's full of white people. And they say, who are you? And I stand up and I say, I am the descendant of the ancestry that created the first smart city in the world. We built the first, our smart city had a semblance of street light before Berlin, before New York, and before London. And the city is called Benin Kingdom in ancient, southwestern Nigeria, between 1300 and 1700. And everyone is looking at me. And they say, tell us more, tell us more. Every time you introduce yourself and nobody is saying, tell me more about that, you have not properly sold yourself. So personal pitching, there's a science to personal pitching. I can't teach that here. Appreciation script. When you meet people, do you send them appreciation? Oh, wow, I love the way you look. Thank you very much for what you've done. Then signal elicitation. When you hang out with me and you leave me, what are you leaving me with? What is that one word that describes you? If you don't know, then there's a problem. Then first interaction and dating dynamics. Many of us don't have this. Then profile audit and adjustment. So let me ask you a question, and I want to be very honest with your answer. If I go and check your Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and maybe Snapchat, or what's the other one? The other one that young people use. If I go and check your profile now, does your profile picture look like a picture that anybody would want to approach to say, wow, I want to date this person because you look so indispensable? If your profile looks so takeaway, TikTok, thank you, so interesting, right now that it looks like, wow, this is the kind of girl I want to marry. You are taking pictures every now and then, and you are saying, so you go out and you're going to work, say, I'm going to work right now, I'm going to have incredible value. I know I'm an indispensable lady, I just love myself. If you do that regularly, can you type yes? If you don't do it, type no. Okay, yes, I'm saying, so the people are saying yes. If your profile picture looks good, okay, so you need to go and audit your profile picture. So you see, it is not prayer you need. It's not the devil that is after you. You are the one after yourself. So stop casting out the devil of delay. Start casting out the devil of ignorance. Right? So you can see, many of you are saying no. So we no go agree for you this year. So go back and take your best picture and put it up on your profile. Within the next 1 week, take picture when you're going to work, right? Find a good spot and say, wow, I'm crushing on myself today. Wow. Any guy or any babe who finds someone like me, right? Has won a gold mine. You are subliminally selling yourself, right? Profile audit and adjustment. So you might need to do that. So go and work on that. And that takes me to number 5, entitlement mentality. Entitlement mentality is the good girl and the good boy syndrome. People just assume because they are good boy and girl, marriage will just come and find them. It's not true. People even tell you, I'm a virgin. All those useless girls, they are virgin. The Bible calls some people 5 foolish virgins. You can be a virgin and be a fool. And that's not to say you should not be a virgin. That's not to say go and be sleeping around. No. But virginity is not enough. Low people skill. Some of you can't relate. You have low people skill. Some of you, prayer mountain, entitlement. I've been praying, I've been fasting. The guy will locate me. My guy will locate me this year. Hey, go after the guy. If you have someone you crush on, position yourself. There's how to position yourself. First movers disadvantage. So do you like the guy, but you are observing because you have been told a lady who is asking a guy out, is a flirt. If you go and tell the guy, I like you, and the guy says you are a flirt, the guy is immature. He doesn't even deserve you. Right? Because some guys can't speak for themselves. You need to help them speak. Right? So while you are working and waiting and saying, well, he will come. Hey, what is mine is mine. If it is mine, he will come. Excuse me. Somebody else who is more desperate will go after the guy, and then they will invite you to a wedding and you're heartbroken. Losing links is the last one there. And what does that mean? There are guys that will come your way. They may not be right enough for you, but they can link you to the next person. So don't look down and talk to them anyhow. Close the door gently. Don't let any guy or babe come to you and you say, you. In fact, we are looking for, if we want to chop correct food, is it now frog that we are going to be chopping? The person might be somewhere that someone is asking, oh, do you know any good girl? And say, that girl, I beg, no go there. That was how she insulted me. No, you need to know that everyone that come your way can be a link. They don't have to be a spouse, but they can link you to the next level. Right. Okay, so which one do you think you are guilty of among the 5? Can I see your chat box? Which one are you guilty of among the 5? Which one are you guilty of? Okay, let me see. Let me see. You don't have time for yourself. Emmanuel, you will always have time for what is important to you, right? If you don't have time for yourself, then you don't want to marry. Number four, none of them. Wilfred said none of them. Okay, number 3, all. Number 4, or more. Okay, good. You guys are very honest. Okay, so the next question, I asked you this question before. Why are you not married? Based on what I've taught you so far, many of you say, money, I've not found the guy. You were giving wrong excuses. Based on what you have learned so far, why do you think you are not yet married? Can I see? Why do you think you're not yet married? Can you go to the chat box and tell me, based on what you have learned so far, what is clear to you? Poor network. Thank you, Marvelous. I am not prepared to ignite. Poor network. Lack of self-awareness. Poor network. I don't even know realistic expectation. I don't even have friends. Poor network. Guys, I wish I can teach you guys around the year every week, right? I wish I can teach you every week and give you assignments every week, right? Poor network. So you can see, guys, I'm going to tell you, many of you are going to get married this year. It will shock you. And you'll get married to the right guys, right? By the time we're done with you, okay? Poor network. Okay. Thank you very much. So, let me teach you 5 red signals for those of you in a relationship or when you now find the right guys. There are 5 red signals you must watch out for so that you don't get married to the wrong person, right? And number 1, again, is no networkers. When you start dating a guy or a lady and the person is a poor communicator in the sense that they don't keep in touch, you are the one chasing them all the time. They can tell you, I am busy. My exam. Let me tell you, you will always find time for what is important to you. So if you are seeing someone who is never checks on you, never calls you, there are people who naturally don't do that. But the moment you tell them, they will make improvement. So there are personalities. If you are married to a systematic fraud, they may not naturally look for your intimidating almost are work driven, right? But after telling them, they will create a plan. So no networkers kind of guys and babes, they are full of excuses and they are unwilling to change, but they are sexually active. Every time you are with them, they want to get down. They want to have sex, but they don't know how to keep in touch, right? They avoid discussing important issues. They dismiss your concern. So when you're trying to raise an issue to say, I'm bothered about it, say, but it's your mind. They can even tell you it's the devil. Don't worry. They will just use some funny words to cover it. They refuse to engage in open and honest communication. Those are no networkers. It's a red flag. Don't go into commitment until you sort it out, right? Until you see improvement. Genuine improvement, and they are really interested in you. Don't go and, this is what they call don't date devil. So no networkers. Their network never works. They are never, ever in touch with you. When people keep in touch, is their way of saying, I'm always in touch with you. I think about you. So how can you be dating someone and you're seeing someone and the person goes 24 hours, 48 hours? You are not yet married though. You have been married for 17 years, but there's never been any day that I didn't talk to my wife. I work in America, they live in Canada, so I shuttle from time to time. So how can you, when you are still, the love is still new, is when you should spend more time on phone, saying mundane things, saying stupid things that doesn't make, you can be saying, I love you. I love you for 2 hours. But your love is new. And these guys some of them are even married, but they are pretending as if they are single, right? And so avoid no networkers. If they don't improve, please call it off. Number 2 is what we call Lord of the Flies. The next red flags are the Lord of the Flies. Lord of the Flies are manipulators, controlling and threatening. If you meet someone who threatens you, who does not accept you as an equal, whether male or female, we call them Lord of the Flies, always seeking to make you into another shape, into another image. They have in their mind who they want to marry. They now hire you to fit into that image. So they tell you your leg. Why is your leg like this? Why is your shape like this? Why is your body like this? Why are you not walking like this? Why are you not talking like this? Why are you not dressed like this? Why are you not Let them go and marry their image. You are not the one they need. Always seeking to make you into another person. Always comparing you. No respect for your values. So when you say, I don't want to do this, they manipulate you into doing what you don't want to do. They threaten you. They say, you know what? If you don't do it, I'm not going to marry you. Let them go to hell with their rubbish. They are insecure. There must be non-negotiables that you must never compromise. They are always insecure. When they see another guy around you, they want to know, who are you talking to? Why are you talking to him? They will find a way to ostracize you from your support system. So once you are dating someone and they begin to talk down your friends, begin to find faults in them, to find a way to move you away from them, the person is trying to isolate you so that they can molest you. Your support system must always be in your life because they are your saving grace in times of crisis. This person cannot stand your authenticity. So when you dress powerfully, they begin to tell you, why are you doing shakara? They talk you down. If you are with that kind of person, please go and buy a spiked shoe and run for your life. Anyone that cannot stand your greatness is not worthy of you. And that takes me to number 3, Monar Incorporated. Monars, always complaining. They never trust anyone. This person is a walking trauma. They can tell you stories that happened in 1921, in the days of Hitler, when Hitler was betrayed. In the days of Alexander the Great, when that was how he was betrayed. I don't trust any woman, blah, 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 blah. Every history of unforgiveness, right? They even fight people. Part of monarchs are people fight people dirty. Run away from anyone who fights their friends dirty on social media. Because if you have a problem in marriage, they're going to bring it to social media. It's immaturity. If you have issues with someone, no matter what the issue is, go and meet a therapist or resolve it. That people have to bring their matter to social media is the highest point of immaturity, and those people don't deserve to be married. So avoid Monar Incorporated. What they need is let them go and heal, right? Good. Thank you very much, Adeze. Bleeding on those who didn't cut them, right? There are many on X. Yes, always there. Yeah, you know, they can call themselves influencers, but they are Monars. And number 4 is unequal yoke. Now, let me explain unequal yoke. Bible says, don't be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. The word there is unbelievers. An unbeliever is someone who doesn't believe what you believe. So let me explain it. If you are a lady, you believe that everyone should cook, and you are seeing someone who believes only you must cook, that's an unbeliever to you. Unbeliever is not a bad person. It just means you don't share similar beliefs. Right? You are a guy, you believe everybody should make money. But the lady believes that, oh, you are the one who must bring the money. I am here to, your money is our money. My money is my money. That's an unbeliever to you. Don't make that mistake. So we run a test called beliefs compatibility test. And many couples in marriages, in fact, almost every case is 98% of domestic violence. When we run their culture compatibility test, there's first question there. A man is superior to a woman. Do you agree or disagree? Every man beating their wives agree that they are superior to their wives. Every woman that is being beaten do not share that belief. So that is one of the core reasons for domestic violence. So you need to check, what does he believe about in-laws? You believe that in-laws should inform you before they come. He believes that anybody can come in anytime. After all, they are my people. Unbeliever. Right? You believe that, you know, whatever we're earning, we all share it together. He believes that, no, I must keep my own. That's an unbeliever to you. Don't overlook that. Right? Beliefs incompatibility. So you can see that both of you can be Christian, speaking in tongues, but you are unbeliever to each other. Right? Don't compromise that. So what you can now do is beliefs alignment. To now say, what are we going to believe? So where you challenge what you have believed, because many of your beliefs are not even true. They are the convictions you have held to be true based on the people that raised you. Unequal yoke are insecure and very rigid. They will not want to change. My stand is my stand. They will even tell you, don't you know that husbands are scarce? Husbands are not scarce. It's not true. Husbands are not scarce. Husbands are not scarce. You need to live with abundance mentality. Don't join them to see husbands as scarce. Once you begin to see husbands as scarce, you create the energy of scarcity. Say to yourself, husbands are everywhere, right? Because I'm a valuable product, right? And so belief is not limited to religion, please. Please, it's not. As a matter of fact, you can find someone who doesn't belong to your religion that you share your beliefs with. Let me even shock you. When I was growing up and I joined Christian Union Nifes, then I left and I joined Pentecostalism, part of what we were taught is Orthodox people are unbelievers. Can you imagine? So they will tell you don't marry Catholic because they are not born again. Don't marry Anglican. They don't speak in tongues, right? But our guys who speak in tongues, they still want to sleep with you. So who is an unbeliever? So I don't believe in premarital sex as a lady. Then I meet a Catholic guy who also don't believe, who respects my views, doesn't believe in premarital sex. We are equal yoke. We are believers to each other. But I'm in Pentecostal and I speak in tongues. Yet the guy I'm dating is saying, let's test ourselves. Pastor must not hear. That's an unbeliever. Right? So you need to understand this thing. Divergent goals and aspiration. You say you are a lady, you want to work. He's already talking you into, and it can be subtle. He says to you, when we get married, you need to stop working so that you can take care of the home. And you are saying, no, I love my job. He says, no, don't worry, I will make enough. That person is going to strip you of your confidence. That's an unequal yoke. Because what is he? Why is he not willing to stop work and take care of the home? So if you know your work is important to you, you need to spot those red flags. They can come in a subtle manner. They mask under spirituality, right? And so when they say unequal, you don't be thinking Muslim, Christian, No, someone who doesn't believe what you believe is an unbeliever to you. And that takes me to number 5, WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks are very interesting. This red flag has cost many people the joy in marriage. WikiLeaks are guys and babes that you know from way back. They are unproductive. They don't have a job or they are not earning anything, but they will tell you life has been tough. But because you have a soft spot for them, from the time you guys had nothing, you are likely going to bring them into your life. You can call them first crush syndrome. Oh, wow. Or somebody first love syndrome. So you bring them in, they blame situation, they are emotional and freeloader. You feed them, you clothe them, they drive your car. You are just sending, you are even sending, maybe some of you are here, you are sending allowance. Please stop the allowance today. Go and look for charity or set up a foundation. And that's how ladies marry down, and some guys marry down. I've met ladies who marry people at their best should have been a mentee, not a husband. Your husband should be able to provide leadership. You don't marry a mentee and now say, come and believe in me. He cannot lead you. He doesn't have what it takes. They are obsessed. They don't love you. They are just obsessed. They can't afford to lose you. So they over around you. They run errands till you get married to them and you realize that you may have to carry the burden for the rest of your life. I know people tell me, Praise, in 20 years of marriage, I have been the one providing for everything in this marriage. And I say, when you were cutting, was he providing or was she providing? Say no, he was not bringing anything. So why did you go ahead to marry? So these are red flags. Marriage should not destroy you. Marriage should complement you and make you look better. So if you have WikiLeaks in your life, please run away from such. In fact, I recommend them to go and see a therapist because they will come subtly. They will say, I'm going to be faithful to you. Faithfulness is good. But what are we going to eat if you're not going to work? And some of them will come with big vision. I have a vision. God has called me. I'm going to be a big man. If you're going to be a big man, what are you going to eat today? Right? I have a big vision. I used to tell my wife, I'm going to make your annual salary in one day. But she saw me working hard. She saw me make the 20,000, the 30,000 before I started doing the millions. Now I coach people for $10,000, $20,000, right? My wife is still, she still says, you used to say all these things. The first time, it took me 9 months into marriage to make a 1 year salary in 1 day of training. No, half a year salary in 1 day of training. So I wasn't lazy, but you have some guys, they've gone to read John Maxwell. John Maxwell says, and I quote. Mike Monar says, and I quote. Papa says, and I quote. Pastor Jerry says, and I quote. They are just quoting. Quoting will not feed anybody. So don't fall for all those things because our parameters for spirituality is faulty. We trade religion for spirituality because the guy, you say, wow, I want a prayer, power of a praying husband. Wow, this man is praying. He's always in church. If he has a job, he will not always perpetually be in church. Okay? So don't fall for wiki leaks, because that is where a lot of us get it wrong. Right? So let the person go work. Don't encourage laziness and slothfulness. Jobs are always available. It might not now be what you see. Me, I painted doors before in school to feed myself and my friends. I painted doors, 500 naira per day. I cut grasses. I did laundry. I did all kinds of things. I trained choirs. I was doing everything just to make ends meet. So don't let anybody sit down and say, you know, I'm giving myself to prayer. Let him go and work. Okay? So those are the 5 red flags. And these people usually, they have a history with you. So again, let me ask the question as I wrap up. When do you want to be married? I need you to answer this question truthfully. When do you want to be married? Oh, okay. Where are your answers? Let me see. I'll take your questions shortly. When you want to be married? This year, September. Okay, August, December. This year, you guys are very strong, right? Trust me, I can guide you to get married this year if really what you want this year. All right, this year. Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to run a simple assessment for you shortly. Then I'll tell you, when I finish running the assessment, I'll tell you 4 things to look out for, right? And I'll take your questions. Okay. I love this. I'll wait till 2025. I'll have to work on myself. Fantastic. I mean, you need to be very honest with yourself. But guess what? All of you, there are guys for you. There are babes for you. They don't have to be in Nigeria. They are everywhere. Once you audit yourself, you will know exactly where those guys are. So my team is putting together a class, right? No, not just a class. So we're doing something, I think March 11 to 13. It's called a self-paced course. So there's a course that I created called Getting Married Without Tears, right? It's very intense. You are going to answer a lot of questions. So you need to prepare to strip yourself naked if you're going to take that course. And then there's going to be a 3-day live review sessions where you will create your user's manual. And then I'll tell you, user's manual alone, you can check the price on my website. It's about $300, right? User's manual alone is $300 on my website. And then when I do it one-on-one with people, it's about $5,000. A self-paced course, Getting Married Without Tears, is very expensive as well. Then after that, you are going to do a 10-day position your spouse challenge. What you will do every day for 10 days, and you will test your result. Now, this is for as many people who think they really want to get married. It's been made very, very affordable for you. It's 50,000 and 80,000. So they have the VIP version. So regular is 50,000 and VIP is 80,000. So they will share the link. You should grab the offer of a lifetime. Trust me, this is very, very cheap enough, right? So go ahead, grab the offer. The difference between regular and VIP is that the VIP people will have specialized coaches working with them, but everyone will still be in class at the end of the day. It's just that they will have some extras, that the regular is, but the minimum you can do is to do the regular, right? So they're going to give you a link. You need to sign up for that session. So you'll have a course that you're going to take. You answer all those questions and you bring it to the class, the 3-day class, where you will answer all those questions. Then you will answer the questions through coaching. Then you will do your user's manual. If you have your user's manual, getting married, getting the right spouse becomes very easy, because that document is actually what you need to know who to marry, where they are. So go ahead and sign up right now. And don't tell me, oh, I don't have money. You need to do this, right? Okay, so having said that, I'm going to take you through a simple assessment. Then I'll tell you 4 things. No, I'll tell you 2 more things, and I'll wrap up. Now, I want you to go ahead right now on your sheet of paper, right? I believe you're signing up for that course already. By the way, that discount expires in 72 hours, which means 3 days. In 3 days, it expires, the offer is gone. Now, so I want you to write down this answer. So there are 4 sides to your life: the stadium, the vault, the freedom, and the explosive. Let's start with the stadium. What do you know about yourself that other people also know that can hinder you from attracting your spouse? What do you know about yourself that other people also know that can hinder you from attracting your spouse? Can you write it down on your sheet of paper? Don't put it on the chat box because it might be confidential. People complain about it. You know you have that problem. Maybe it's anger. You have anger issues. And if you're comfortable to write it on the chat box, it's up to you, right? This is our meeting. We are shameless here and nobody's hounding anybody. What do you know about yourself that other people have complained about that you think can hinder you from attracting your spouse? What is it? Can you write it down in your notes? Now, vault, what do you know about yourself that gets you excited, but no one else knows about you? Okay, that is stadium. So if you are putting on the chat box, if there is none, you are correct. It doesn't have to be anything. Okay, good. Not being social. Fantastic. Right? So it means that you need to confront and deal with it. It's your stadium. You need to deal with it. Thank you. I love the person who is very honest to say anger. Right? Anger and not being social. Anger is a secondary emotion. It means that you need to do some healing work because the anger is triggered by a child in you. So we take you through something called healing the inner child, which we'll do in the paid for session, right? Yeah, triggered easily. So all of you are saying anger, you need to sign up already. Then vault, what do you know about yourself that gets you excited, but no one else knows about you? Maybe you are a lady or you're a guy, you're already a millionaire, right? Or you already have 2 houses, 5 houses, but you are coded. Nobody knows that, but it gets you excited. So, whoa, anybody who gets married to me is going to really, really enjoy, right? Because I have a lot to offer, right? So what is that for you? Then number 3 are the explosives. So your vault, you might want to keep it. If you are comfortable enough, share them. That's fine. Explosive, what do you know about yourself that no one else knows about you that you wish nobody gets to know? Right? What is that thing about you that nobody knows it? You don't want anybody to know, right? Because it's shameful. What is it? Maybe you've done abortion before. Maybe you are a sex addict right now. Maybe you're hooked on pornography or masturbation. Or maybe you slept with a married man. It can be anything, right? You don't have to share it on the chat box, but be honest with yourself because that is what you need to terminate and get help with. So if you have stuff in there, right, you need to sign up for that class, right? You need to get help as a matter of urgency because you know that if it comes out, it can undermine you. And that's why people won't get married on the wedding day or the day to the wedding. Their ex shows up and they have sex and they terminate. You know, people have been messed up by explosives or their maps, right? So what is yours? If you have nothing, is nothing. Then number 4, your freedom. Who would you rather want to become that will make you so proud of yourself? Describe that in your note. Who would you rather want to become that will make you so proud of yourself? If you could make yourself into anything, who would you make yourself into? Who would you want to become? Right? That you look at it and say, wow, I love this me. I can even marry this me because I'm in love with this me. Can you write it down? That's your freedom. And that's what you want to work for. So if you have stadium, you need to confront and deal with it. If you have your vault, you need to preserve and continue it. If you have explosives, you need to terminate it and get help. Be honest with yourself. Be very, very honest with yourself because it has a tendency to mess you up. Then freedom is you visualize and you enjoy it, right? You visualize and you enjoy it. You visualize. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Achike. Abiba, thank you. Thank you. Kingdom Financier, Global Mental Health Counselor, financially stable and independently. Fantastic. So that is what you want to work for. So let me tidy this session up by saying to you, what is your signal? What is your signal going to be? And how do you pick your signal? Can you write down 5 words that describe your reality? If there are 5 words that describes you right now, what would they be? Write it down on your sheet or on your note. Now, out of the 5 words, you will now choose one that everywhere you go, that is the one word you want to hear about you. For example, if they may say Chukwuike is nice, or Chukwuike is fantastic, or Chukwuike is a wonderful person, Chukwuike is electric, right? Or Chukwuike is just indispensable, or Chukwuike is compassionate. Which one will you choose that you will work for from today? That everywhere you go to, that's the one word whose signal you will post, you will share, you will relate with people everywhere you go, including people who annoy you. You will respond to them with that one signal that you have chosen, okay? Don't put spirit filled, oh, we can't measure that one, oh, okay, I love classy, right? Don't get really religious in here. We're talking about attributes that human beings can measure everywhere you go, okay? I'm joyful, good. Esther, I love that. Social, sociable, or elegant, good art, electrifying. I love that. Abimbola, electrifying. That when you show up like this, so it means it will affect your wardrobe, it will affect your carriage, it will affect how you walk, how you talk, it would affect how you respond when things don't go your way. Who wants to be a joker? I'm seeing somebody say, I want to be known as a joker. What does that mean? Please, so don't be a clown, right? How you find a spouse by being a clown? Confident and classy, resourceful, value-adding. Please write that one word down. Write it down and work for it. It must govern your behavior everywhere you go, wherever you go. I said one word. People are writing three. Okay, one. Supportive, one word, responsible, value-adding, pleasant. I love that. I love words that can govern human behavior. Pleasant. Everybody wants to marry a pleasant woman. Everybody wants to marry a caring man. Everybody wants a compassionate person, resourceful. Whoa, caring, fantastic, impactful, responsible. Oh, no. If you guys don't get married this year, I will change my name. Okay, guys. So 4 things you need to do as we round up. 4 critical tips to finding the right spouse. 1, you need to ask yourself who is he to himself or herself. Anybody you want to get married to, you want to check who is this person to himself or herself. And in there, you are checking what value are they placing on themselves. How do they respond to criticism? Do they fight dirty? You know, how do they have self-compassion? Do they do self-care? Do they take care of themselves? You want to check, because if they don't take care of themselves, they can never take care of you. Right? Number 2, who is he or he to those around him? How do they treat the people around them? What support systems do they have? Do they have authority figures that you can report them to? Every human being is meant to be interdependent, not independent, right? So is there a mentor? Is there a role model? Is there someone that when they misbehave, you can report? If they say God, please run. Or tell them to go and get the signature from God, right? So, someone is saying, oh, we pay 50K for me to attend the next class. So, okay, who we pay? Don't look for who we pay. Think about who you will pay for, right? That's a mindset. How can I afford it, right? So who is he or she to those around him or her, right? You need to answer that question, right? So you want to check, how do they treat their friends? How do they treat their enemies? How do they treat their parents? How do they treat their sisters? How do they treat the people in their lives? Then number 3, who are you to yourself? You want to check that out. And number 4, who is he or he around you? When they are around you, what vibe? Do you feel confident? Are you authentic? Can you speak your mind when you are with them and you are not afraid? Or you're always tiptoeing, you're always measuring your word. Let me be careful what I say so that I doesn't get angry, right? If those are the 4 critical tips you need to figure out in finding your spouse. Okay, so the last question will now be, who should you be married to? Based on what you have learned today, if there is one attribute, so you have chosen your signal, right? You are compassionate, you are electric, you are this, you are that. If there is one attribute to describe the spouse that will be compatible to you, what will that be? What will that be? What will that be? Can you write it down? Can you put it on the chat box? What kind of spouse are you looking for? Kind man, supportive, intentional. I'm loving it. So you can see, you know exactly how to, God-fearing. How will you measure God-fearing? But anyway, if you can measure it, it's fine. Compassionate, teachable, a great man, an intentional lover, a responsible. Now, the word you have chosen, I want you to place it on your wall or make it into your screensaver. That shows what you are looking for. That is the number 1 value you're looking up for, right? And so, if you have chosen that word, what begins to happen to you from tomorrow is you begin to see people who share those attributes, and then you want to make them into friends. Friendship first before anything. The rest of the work, we're going to be doing it in class, where we're going to ask you questions. We're going to create a framework for you. Then you will do your user's manual. Like I said, user's manual alone is $300. So this class is nothing. It's almost as if we're doing it for free. Then you will now do a 10-day challenge in which you will audit your profile. You will go out there, put yourself out there, do some challenge. Then you feed us back every day, and then we will be done with you. But we'll also keep you in the community. I hope this has been helpful. If you have learned something today, let me know what you have learned. Let me know what you have learned. So you want to join us? Don't miss this. All of you need to, if you really are interested in getting married, you need to find 50,000 or 80,000 for the VIP and sign up right away. I hope with these few points of mine, I have been able to. So I promised Tina something. So Motola, I'm going to pay for Tina's class. I'm going to pay for a session, right? That would be my gift to her because I saw her pictures first. So I'm going to pay for that from my pocket. And when I say I'm going to pay, I'm going to pay. All right. And so that will be my gift for you. But Tina, if you have the money, you can pay for someone else, but I'm going to pay for you. All right. So thank you, everyone. I hope you learned something. I take it back to Motolani. I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that is so easy, so cheap. And I can guide you into finding your spouse within the shortest possible time. And you won't even have to think back about, oh, is it the right guy? Because we can always figure them out. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Wow, 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 wow. When I told you that this was going to be an amazing session, I know what I was talking about. That was a beautiful one. Thank you so much, Mr. Praise Fowowe. For everyone who has joined in, please go into the chat room now and tell me one thing that you're going to do differently. Tell me something that you have learned and tell me one thing that you are going to do differently. Because it's not enough for you to come into class and get excited and say, oh, wow, profound. Oh, this is deliverance. But the question is, what are you going to do differently? Will you be taking this offer? So imagine if a free webinar is like this. You just imagine what 3 days in class with Mr. Praise Fowowe would be. And if peradventure you're able to join the VIP, just imagine what a one-on-one session would be. Oh my, this is absolutely amazing. Tina, please reach out to the admin and drop your details with the admin. Congratulations to you, Tina, by the way. I saw Tina first, so there is no mago in this. Tina actually deserves this. Congratulations to you one more time. So let me go into the chat room and see what people are saying. Please, if you have questions for Mr. Praise, let's say peradventure you dropped it earlier and I missed it, you would pardon me because there are a lot of questions in the chat room. And for people who are watching on YouTube, admin, please let me collect the questions that people have on YouTube. YouTube people, I know that you guys are there and I am with you. If you have questions, please drop it in the chat room and we would answer them while I go through the chat room and see what we have. I have learned I need to expand my possibly by building more network of people, my mindset. Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of network that I'm going to work on. Beautiful. Someone says I'm going to be more intentional about my networking. Self-awareness is important. Good. But most importantly, it is important that you sign up for this class. This is what we do. We want to be able to help as many of you as possible, right? What you have learned today, some of you might have some trauma that we need to work on. Come to class and we'll be able to assist you. It's just 50,000 naira. It's launch money for how many days, right? I can hear, okay, some people are sending me DMs and say, oh, do I have to pay once? Let me see. So what I can do is ensure, so you can pay, admin, please give me a go ahead to answer those people who are saying, can I split my payments? Can I pay in installments? Okay, I'm looking for a go ahead from my admin and I would go ahead. Okay, so if you have a 20K right now, tonight, it means that you would make that payment right away this night, right away on this call to say, I want to attend this class, but I do not have this 50K right now. Just to show you that I'm serious and I want to attend this class, I'm going to pay 20K right away. But if you are going to pay within the time frame that you were given, which is 72 hours, you would have to pay your 50,000 naira because you have already been given a discount. This class ideally is about 80,000 naira. If you go on our website, you see how much our courses cost. This is a huge discount that we're giving to everybody for you to do a one-on-one session with Mr. Fowowe. Okay, you try it and see what it costs. And this is coming on a platter of gold. So please, if you have questions, we would like, okay, someone says, I'm going to put my eyes on meeting my kind and free myself from wrong belief and unrealistic. Okay, so yes, if you want to pay 20,000, pay it right away on the call. And if you have done that, just come into the chat room and say, done. But if you are doing that, you need to be able to reach the admin because we need to be able to identify that you have made payment. Okay, so someone is saying, what are the practical ways to improve my network? Mr. Praise, you want to take that question?
Practical ways to improve your network. It's very, either must have friend, must show himself friendly. So there's a framework that, of course, I can't teach here because, again, I will need to check you out to see how have you been relating with people before. But the easiest ways I would say to do is go out tomorrow, go to a crowded place, or maybe tomorrow is Sunday. If you're a Christian or whatever, go to your church. After church is over, look for 5 people that you've never met before and acknowledge something good about them, what they're wearing. So, for example, if you observe, first thing is actually create rapport. So if you create rapport to say, oh, I like what you're wearing, looks like you have a good fashion sense, you know, can you tell me the designer that designed these things for you, right? And so when you position as someone who wants to learn, they'll say, oh, wow, it's my designer, blah, 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 blah. Oh, wow, I'm going to be needing you, you know, because that's one area I hope to learn a lot more from. You know, is there a number I can reach you on? I hope you don't mind, right? That's connection. You have connected. And when they give you the number, be the first to acknowledge and say, well, thank you very much for, that's how you do it. It's very simple. There's no rocket science about it. But you need to normalize meeting people, exchanging numbers, positioning yourself as if you have something to learn. But I have that within a bigger framework of, I even have scripts on how you can make the first contact and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. I have another question here. The person says that, what do we do about a partner that is easily upset or triggered? What do we do?
Please let him go for therapy. Let him go for therapy. It's not, if they are easily triggered, it means they have a bit of anger issues. And anger, like I said, is a secondary emotion. There is something upsetting them. There is something that triggers the whatever, right, that they need to deal with. Unless they uninstall it, if you get married to them in that state, they may have to, you may be at the you may be the recipient of the anger, and that's not what you want. So you want to check out, recommend for them to talk to a professional or a coach or a therapist.
Someone is saying, is it advisable to marry someone you don't have feelings for, with the belief that the feelings will come later after marriage? That's question one.
Not having feelings is a not having feelings is a red flag. Okay. Not having feeling is a red flag. As a matter of fact, if you are dating someone and you are not tempted by the person, is a red flag, right? We are not saying even get down with yourself, but you look at the person and you are not moved, your body doesn't move, is a red flag. Please, don't go ahead. So if you don't have feelings, all these concepts that feeling will develop with time. Feeling may not develop with time, right? And that's why we always say friendship is the crucible in which great relationships are forged. So build friendships. If you don't want a quiet mode home, right, then you want to deal with those things. And that's why take it slow and get to know, go out, enjoy yourself, engage yourself. But if the feeling is still not coming, don't force it, please. Don't.
If someone is asking, when is the class starting? That is March 11th to 13th. March 11th to 13th. Okay, someone is saying, okay, yes, if you want to rewatch this session, you can go to our YouTube page. Admin, please drop the link. You can go to our YouTube page and you're able to watch. Another question says, can distance relationship work?
Yeah, why not? Distance relationship works very well. However, it has its own dynamics. There are things we need to check out for then, but you must have someone on ground who can help you check the person out, because you don't want a situation where you are relating with someone in a distant relationship. Let's say the person is in America, but the person is married and you're not aware. And that happens all the time, right? So you need to know someone who knows someone who can check them out, right? And so you want to do your background check, but it works. Yeah.
Okay, so someone is saying that, how do you place yourself as a single mom?
If you're a single mom, you are just a lady who is fortunate enough to have had a child out of wedlock. There is nothing wrong about you. So don't be defined by the child you had. You are a responsible human being because you could have terminated that pregnancy. So your truth and your responsibility should not now be, a disadvantage. It's actually an advantage. And there are so many guys who don't mind, getting into a relationship with you. But it depends on how you now carry yourself. And that's why you need to carry yourself properly, right? And wear it as part of your badge is not a disadvantage, right? If you are a value-adding woman, even if you have 5 children, a lot of men will rush you. Yeah.
Someone says, is it advisable to marry an older lady and she loves you in return, but her parents didn't support it?
If her parents doesn't support it and both of you are okay, You can go ahead. I've seen it happen. If you think her parents have a lot of influence over her, overbearing, then you might want to reconsider. If she's older than you, not a big deal. Depending on the age gap. Why we always talk about, don't have too much age gap is because they say women age faster, but now technology and Fit Farm has redefined that. We're saying what Oprah looks like right now. She even looks younger. So a lot is now coming into the dynamics, but if the two of you feel for each other and if she respects you, why not? But I always will say, let's appeal to the parents first. And you don't have to be telling them your age. But if your parents if they don't agree, and the two of you still want to go ahead, hey, the court is never going to ask you where are your parents when you're going to get married. No, you can go to the court.
Hey, so this person is saying, is it possible to love someone and not know exactly why you love the person?
I don't know why you love the person. It's possible. It's depending on your definition of love. I think what you are describing is feeling. Maybe you have feelings for them and you don't know why you have feelings for them. You need to search yourself. There must be something that strikes you about them. Maybe their personality, you can be sapiosexual. Maybe because of the person's intelligence, you just realize that you're drawn to them and you do not know. But I mean, there's something that just write down 5 things you appreciate about them. If you write down the 5 things, you will see the one that really gets into you the most among them. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take a few more questions. Now, someone says, based on my background, I choose not to have friends. I've always been on my own, just with family, immediate, and just 1 or 2 friends. How do I break this?
I've just described what you need to do. He that must have friends must show himself friendly. Your family, they do not have all it takes to give you everything you want, including they can marry you. So you need to break away from them because they become your comfort. They are supposed to be your comfort zone, but they become your stronghold. So from tomorrow, when you go to church or mosque, wherever you go, start meeting new people and start making new friends. Then you need to address what are you afraid of? Has your trust been broken before? That could be, why you are comfortable with your family. But people have gotten killed by their family members before as well. Life is a risk. You need to go out. I have built all kinds of relationships all my life. And if there's anything I know how to do, really, is to create empire everywhere I go. So I have empires in every nation that I've been to. Yeah.
Okay, so this question says, what about you meeting someone?
Kalani, can you check your audio? Looks like your audio, I don't know what's going on, but you are a bit faint.
Can you hear me? Okay, so this question says, what about you meeting someone who aligns with your goals and values and comes with the issue of genotype compatibility? How do you go about that?
Except you don't plan to have children, or you want to adopt. If you don't want to have children or you want to adopt, go ahead. If you want to have sex and have children, please save your children from stress and save yourself from stress. There will be many more people like him, all right? But if you guys have an understanding that we're not going to have a baby, we're going to adopt, then why not? Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to take 2 questions in one. Number 1 question says, when you meet someone that has all you wanted as a lady, how do you go about it? Then the second one says, I have an issue. I'm still single because I find it difficult to find my kind of person. So this person has found, but she doesn't know how to go about it. This person is saying, it's difficult to find my kind of person.
If you can't find your kind of person, it's not impossible that so when we do users manual, part of what users manual will show you is where they exist, where your kind of person are. They exist. They are always in one network. They're in one group. You just need to find them, right? Nobody can find them for you, but users manual will reveal where they are. So I would expect you to be in that class. The other person, what was the first question again?
Who says, I have seen the person, but how do I go about it? I'm a lady.
Go and meet the person and be friends. Don't go and tell the person I want to marry you first. Can we be friends? Friendship first is the crucible in which great relationships are for. People don't pretend in friendship. However, once you put the thing on the front burner, I want to marry you, people begin to pretend, right? So please build friendship first. That's the way you want to start from.
Okay. This says, you said ladies ought to marry upward. Does that mean men should marry downward? Throw more light.
No, marry your kind. I mentioned that. Marry your kind. Marry your kind. Don't marry as a lady. Don't, because your husband is supposed to provide leadership, right? Except what you apply, the kind of marriage you want is where you are the leader and is following you. That's okay. That's fine. but it's always cumbersome when a wife wants someone to provide leadership and the person you have gone to marry does not have the capacity to provide any form of leadership, right? You will realize that it's very stressful. And I know a lot of women who are living with that stress right now. You don't want to get into it.
There's this question from YouTube. It says, please, what steps should one take when one is not sure of the lady he wants to marry?
Go and meet a family life coach and start a premarital or do some counseling session. They will do some assessments for you that will show what you could be dealing with. That was what I did for that couple. I was working with them. Then after a while, we ran the assessment. I realized that their beliefs are incompatible, and they were not willing to shift gear. And the sensible thing for both of them, they talked about it and they realized that we might be better as friends and not as lovers. And they went their separate ways. That's simple.
So someone says, also from YouTube, says, what could be the reason for always attracting men who are not serious and financially unstable men?
Well, maybe you have what you call savior syndrome. If you are a firstborn girl, and you have the one taking care of your siblings or taking care of the men in your life, you became highly responsible enough as a woman. Remember I talked about frequency. Part of the frequency you activate is needy people, and they will come to you in droves. So we need to change that aura intentionally, right? And once you change that aura, you realize that you stop attracting those kind of people.
The iPhone, I think your question has been answered, so I'm going to skip that question. Another question says, is it advisable to marry a younger man that is more mature and has the quality you desire?
Why not? I talked about that. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to take one more question. Many more questions. Okay, so this question says, how can one manage the situation of a long-distance relationship when one party is planning to leave the country for study? Most especially if the lady is not comfortable with the long distance, how can one work things out or make things work?
Well, maybe you want to go with the person and also relocate or something. But what I always say, that's why, please, guys, if you don't listen to anything, I have emphasized friendship. Please build friendship. Don't be fixated on, so all these links I said you to build network. It's a network of friends, right? If you have built enough friendship, you are not stuck with one person. So when you see the reason to part of love is letting the person go. Love is not, oh, I've contributed to your life, I must stay with you. What if? That's why some people have gotten into wrong relationships, right? And they are in pain. You want to get to that point where you say, you know what? Whatever I'm doing for you, I'm doing it because I love you. And part of love is letting go. If this is not going to work, I wish you all the best. I'll find someone else. So if you already have like 11 people eligibles in your circle, there's the next person always waiting for you, right? However, you guys should sit and talk about it. If you mean well for each other, there are so many frameworks. With the internet, everything is now easy. You can talk to each other every day. Yeah.
I don't want more questions, please. I want us to wrap up this class. So I'm only going to take the questions that I can see in the classroom round. Someone says, I work in a place where it's hard for me to go out. How can I help myself? And the second person says, for the past 2 years, no one has asked me out. I want to know if something is wrong with me.
So somebody says that where you work is tough to go out. Am I not in America right now? Am I not talking to you in your home? So what are we talking about? You don't have to go physically. You can create a Zoom session of friends that you meet regularly. You hang out every week. You can watch movies. You guys maximize tech. Maximize technology. When I see singles talk like this, you're giving yourself excuses. There is so much. Someone is asking if you are single, they want to marry you. There is so much available. So much. So you cannot, where you work is tough. Can you get online? You can get online. So set up your meeting online before you meet the group physically, right? And the other person, what was the second person saying?
Somebody's asking her out in 2 years, and so she wants to ask if anything is wrong with her.
Well, it's possible. I have seen people who told me people are not asking them out. Then I took them through my aura management session. Then everybody started asking them out. So what we need to do is to do a simple audit of your life. How many friends have you made in the last 2 years? Gone out of your way to meet? Most likely 0. If there is 0, then nobody's going to ask you out. Then how are you positioning yourself? position yourself around married people, because you can have all your friends married and you're hanging out with them and everybody assumes that you are married, right? So the aura you are emitting is that you are married. So if people see you married but you still think you're single, right? So there is a whole lot involved that we need to analyze, and I can't tell exactly what it is, but we need to audit you. All right.
So for the person asking about savior syndrome and how to fix it, come to class, we'll talk about it. The person who is asking about how do we change our aura, come to class and we'll talk about it. So I can see more than one person asking about the change of aura. Don't worry, come to class, we'll talk about it. Another person is asking, how can I attract international men that are financially stable and are ready to settle? That's a question.
Sorry, can you come again?
How can I attract international men that are financially stable and are ready to settle?
It's very simple. Join professional groups. Join, I mean, there are several groups that have multinationals. If you are doing Agile, Scrum Master, Scrum certification, project management, there are so many groups that have multinationals. Just make yourself visible in those groups. Make sure you contribute. Make sure you are visible in those groups. People check you out. Use LinkedIn effectively. There's so many groups you can join. But just be sure that you see yourself, you are financially stable. Because again, you need to bring value to the table.
I think Joseph, this question has been answered before. Can you marry a lady you are 9 to 10 years older than?
Age is nothing really. If the two of you can understand the dynamics, there are dynamics you have to understand. If the two of you see, I live in the US. These things don't matter, right? What is most important is the framework that you guys are going to run, and then what you feel for each other, and your family vision, the family you want to build. So we have not even started talking about, see, what we're talking about is how to even find the right people. When you find, your work now continues. There's another body of knowledge entirely on what to look out for, how to build an effective family system.
All right, guys, I think I've taken enough questions. For the person who is asking, is it normal for a man to be authoritative? I think there's an answer in the chat room for you. How do I overcome this? I'm scared of meeting people, build friendship. Oh, Tolani, are you single? Oh, no, Tolani is not single. What do you expect? So if you want to be married like I am, come to class. Okay, people, it's been an exciting time with all of you on this call. If you have more questions, come to class and we will answer all your questions. I'm so sorry if I could not take all your questions tonight. All you need to do is to use the link in the chat room and ensure that you join us in this 3 days class. It's going to be amazing and explosive. Thank you, Oluwafemi. Oluwafemi says, honestly, I am healed tonight, really. And yes, you can follow Mr. Praise Fowowe on Instagram at The Family Life Strategies. And you can also follow us, Praise Fowowe, INT, Praise Fowowe, INT on Instagram. You can follow us. And you can also follow me, Mutwalani Abifalabi, on Instagram. I'll be willing to connect with all of you, but please, I'm very married. I'm not single. And I'm not searching. But maybe I could have some single guys and single ladies for you if you connect. Just maybe. But it's very important that you sign up for this class. Very, very important. Most of all, if you need to heal, like the savior syndrome, you will come to class and you would get healing. It's even going to help in every other aspect of your life, and you're able to connect with that person that is your kind, and it's going to be an amazing one. Titinia Yomi, I love your name, and thank you so much for appreciating me. Thank you, everyone who's joined the class today. If you still have any more questions about how to join the class, I'm right here for you. Ask me any question. How can I support you? How can I help you join this class? I'm right here. If you're saying, Tolani, I've spent my salary, I have to wait for next month. All you need to do is pay 20,000 naira this night, and I'm going to speak to the admin and ensure that she allows you pay your balance before you come to class. Class starts March 11th to 13th, and it's going to be in the evening, so you're back home. Time like this, you're back home and settled in. It's going to be an amazing one. If you want to, okay, I'm not going to. I just served someone breakfast. Okay, I was just served breakfast. Sorry, Oluwafemi. Don't worry. Someone is asking you what it tastes like. Just come to class. You will be excited that you did. The link has just been dropped again. Class is March 11th to 13th. All you need to do is pay a 50,000 naira and you're able to join the class. Oh, I remember someone asked a question to say, aside the one-on-one package, what else do you get to the VIP? Yes, you get to do our Oyela assessment. Yes, Oyela assessment. When you come to class, you will understand what that assessment is about. It's life-changing. Okay? If you want to rewatch this class, all you need to do is go to YouTube, Praise Fowowe admin, am I right? Praise Fowowe, go to YouTube and look for Mr. Praise Fowowe, not Mr., just Praise Fowowe, and you will get, okay, someone is saying, can we start networking already? Oh, yes, please, you can start networking already. Okay. Mr. Oluwafemi, if you are willing, we can get you to speak to one of our counselors because I can see that you have just been served breakfast. You can reach out to the admin, Oluwafemi, and we can get someone, to speak to you and know how you're feeling and maybe stabilize you before the class. Thank you, everyone who's joined the class. I'm just still on the call here. If you have any question about how to join the class or how I can help, it would be fine. It would be fine. I'm here to support you all the way. Ruby, thank you. How do I follow you on social media? Go to the Family Life Strategies to follow Mr. Praise Fowowe and to follow our organization's Instagram handle. Go to Praise Fowowe INT. Praise Fowowe INT. Praise Fowowe INT. It's just been dropped in the group. And to follow me at Motolani Abe Falabi, just my name, and you can reach me. And if you have any question, I'm right here. Let your question be about how to join the class and I will be willing to assist. And if you're saying, no, please give me some more time to make this payment, just reach out to the admin and let's see how we can assist you. This is where we draw the curtain tonight. Thank you again, Mr. Praise. That was an amazing session. I remain your amazing, super beautiful host, Motolani Falabi. Thank you to all my admin behind the scene. Thank you so much. And signing out. Good night, everyone.